Game Chat with Bwana, episode 32, coming at you right now.
Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Now, here's Bwana McCall.
This is Game Chat with Bwana, episode 32. Coming at you live September something, October something, November something. I'm a little confused. This is Game Chat with Bwana, episode 32, October 3rd, 2011. What happened in September, I don't know, but it was fun and it's over. But it's now October 3rd, 2011. This is Game Chat with Bwana. Every Monday night, we do this thing called Game Chat with Bwana every Monday night, 8 p.m. But guess what? It ain't 8 p.m. It's about 9:20 something p.m., which means I'm late, but we're here anyway. I'm glad people stuck in the chat room saying, hey, where's Bwana? Bwana's not here yet. Is Bwana going to be here yet? Some people, it's like, I skipped house for this. And then they went Arnold Schwarzenegger on me, and then I finally showed up, and then everybody calmed down, but we're here. And we're live at live.bwana.tv, at twitch.tv/Bwana. You can come by and participate in the chat room, offer all your thoughts and suggestions and opinions to the stories that we talk about. And what we do here at Game Chat with Bwana is every week at Monday, on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, when I'm on time, is that we talk about the latest news, 7 days worth of gaming news that we discuss here at Game Chat with Bwana. We go back 7 days. We find the best stuff that's on the web, and we try to do the best to cover the best stuff that's on the web, but we often miss some stories. And you guys go to our forums at bwana.tv/forum, and you guys submit stories over there that I may have missed, that may have been interesting to you, and then I go over there and read them, and then we read them to each other, and then we all laugh, and then we giggle, and then we have title time, and then all of a sudden it's over, everybody's sad, but then we're happy because it's going to happen again next week, right? Right. This is Game Chat 1, episode 32, coming at you. Let's do this, guys, without further ado. And we're going to talk about rage. Rage. You know, if you go into a supermarket and do that, you might get arrested. But I might actually do that. I might actually go to the store tomorrow. Just be like, sir, may I help you? And then they'll just look at you like, okay, we'll just hang back, and if you need anything, we'll be at the counter. Thanks for stopping by. You know, you might creep them out a little bit, but it might be a little bit funny. No, it won't. Check it out, guys. Rage is coming out tonight, hopefully. Steam says it's going to unlock at midnight, but we don't believe them. The game is supposed to re-release tomorrow officially, but those of us who bought the digital copy can unlock it early, pending that countdown is actually correct. Because you know what Steam does. They let you preload the game, download all 75 terabytes of the game, and then it just sits there and laughs at you and goes, ho, ho, you want to play with me, don't you? Ho, but you gotta wait. Ho, 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 ho. It's so funny because you want to play and you can't. Ho, ho, ho. And you're just sitting there with a sad face. I wish I could play Rage. Ho, ho. You can't. Ho, ho. But Rage is coming out. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Hopefully, it'll be out tonight. If it is, I'll be playing it tonight. In sleepy stupor, but we'll be playing it. But why are we talking about Rage again? That's right. Those texture packs. Every time we talk about Rage, it always has to do with texture packs. It started out with the 8 GB mandatory PS3 install. And then we talked about the 25 GB not mandatory, but optional Xbox 360 install. And the multiple discs and all this stuff. And then the PC install is going to be like huge. And we talked about the the high texture pack that's coming later to the PC, and I was a little taken back by that. I was like, well, hopefully PC will get something cool. Consoles are getting stuff day one. We're not. But Rage textures, according to John Carmack on this story, are exactly the same on all platforms. And this is kind of contradictory, because the reports that we heard that the PC was going to get a high definition or high texture pack later, whereas the PS3 is getting that now. What he's saying right here kind of contradicts it. Maybe it's taken out of context. Maybe he means that, eventually they will have all the same textures. But I don't know about launch. Look for lots and lots and lots of websites with lots and lots of screenshots comparison the 360 and the PS3. They're going to be all over the place. I don't know about the PC. You may not see a lot of PC screenshot comparisons, but there's going to be a whole bunch of consoles. Man, I don't know what it is about these consoles, man. They just got to have the better graphics. PS3 fanboys and 360 fanboys, man, they get the torches and the pitchforks. This screenshot comparison time. My console will rule supreme, and they go on up there, and then if their screenshots don't match, they'll doctor them. They'll touch them up in Photoshop. Yeah, we're gonna sharpen this up. I mean, they just gotta win. They just gotta win. But the main thing that perturbed me, since I'm a PC gamer, I'm gonna be more concerned that we're not gonna get the texture packs until after launch in an optional download or whatever. That's what I read last week. I'm hoping that's not the case. And what John Carmack is saying here kind of contradicts that. So we'll be seeing, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. You know, Steam. They'll unlock the game at 5 p.m. tomorrow and be like, I won't play Rage last night. Oh, you can't. And, hopefully we'll be happy enough to wait for that stuff, because patience is a virtue and good things come to those who wait. And insert cliche number 3 right here. Check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details. John Carmack goes on record that says that the Rage textures are exactly the same on all platforms. Next story. Well, here we are again. It's always been a pleasure. Portal 2 DLC is finally coming. For those of us who didn't buy the $100 Razer Hydra, the peer review pack is what it's called. It's coming to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC tomorrow. Oh, man. October, it's going to be one of those months. Guys, get your ducks in a row. I said it last show. I'm saying it this show. Get your priorities in order. Make sure things get done, because there's going to be a lot of temptations with all these games coming out. Portal 2 DLC. I love this game. This game is definitely on my list for Game of the Year. Played it, finished it probably like 4 or 5 times. Portal 2, great puzzle game, first-person puzzle game. If you haven't played it yet, it's been on sale. It's been very, very cheap. I mean, it's been as low as like $30 in some outlets, even for 360 and PS3. And even VideoGamer.com, the site which I'm reading this on, gave the title a 10 out of 10. So it's going to be very, very good. I'm very interested what's coming with this. What they're offering is a co-op test track where you can do the 2 co-op robots that you play as. They're going to offer some new co-op test tracks, and it's also going to include single player and co-op challenge modes. That's probably what I'm going to focus on with this free DLC. It's not going to cost you a dime if you already own Portal 2. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see what these levels entail. They increased the difficulty. I think some people said that the original levels in Portal 2 were a little too easy. I disagreed, because I thought they were challenging enough. Fit the storyline perfectly. But, the second or third time you play through, of course they're going to be easy. But since then, we've got user-generated levels. People have taken that hammer tool that they released for Portal 2 and created their own custom Portal 2 levels. So you can go and check those out. You can download those off the web. Just Google Portal 2 custom levels. You'll find a bunch of them. So if they're too easy, hey, get some user-generated ones. Now, I have made myself a project that I said that I was going to create a bouncy level where it's nothing but bouncy gel everywhere and crates and stupid stuff, just like a troll face level. but I haven't got around to doing it. Hammer's not that easy, guys. You really got to pay attention. I was counting on devoting 5 minutes to it, to learn it. That's about 40 minutes to not enough. It's a very involved tool. It's not terribly difficult, but you just got to pay attention and actually put some time into learning it. But Portal DLC is out tomorrow. By the time you guys are watching this show, it's probably going to be out and available for download. Like I said, guys, absolutely free. Check it out, guys. This is over on videogamer.com. They got the details over there. Now we're going to talk about Batman a little bit. Batman. I'm Batman. Yes. We're going to talk about Batman Arkham City, which is a title that's going to be very, very interesting. I do have it coming to me as a result of me buying a new video card. It came with this game absolutely free. So I'm going to be playing this particular game, but a lot of people are looking forward to it. And if you are a fan of Mr. Nightwing, otherwise known as Dick Grayson, the original Robin, if you're a fan of him, some new achievements that came out made reference to a Nightwing bundle pack. So apparently Mr. Nightwing is going to be available in some DLC with Batman Arkham City. I was kind of sad. I was like, well, why can't he be in the original game? Why I have to buy DLC to play with Nightwing? And I got all sad-faced again, so I was sad, Bwana, for a few minutes. But, you know, I got the game for free, technically, so I can't really complain. But those of you who are going to fork out some money for this, you know, you might want to play Nightwing in the original game. This whole DLC thing is getting a little bit out of hand. That's a soapbox that I've jumped on many, many times. Where companies just, you know, they'll release DLC a week after the game comes out, and you're like, huh? Why'd you just put it in the game? You know, so, you know. Other titles, I think, what was the title? Dead Island. Dead Island DLC is on hold because they're actually working on fixing the game. So that leads me to believe that it actually wasn't ready to go with a regular game. So when companies, you know, produce more DLC after the game's out, then, you know, I don't have too much of a problem with that. But when the DLC's ready, when the game's ready on release, and they just hold it back, say, oh, we're going to milk a few dollars out of these users here. We're going to release this DLC a month later after the game's out because we need to make some money so the boss can go on a cruise and go on with his wife and go and buy her some new golden curtains and get on that yacht and make some circles around an island. She's going to have to go out there and dance out there and do the hula hoop with her husband, and we got to pay for that somehow. So we're going to go out there and we're going to put this DLC out. We're going to charge $10 for it, and users are going to buy it. And we sit there, we fork over the money a month after the game is out. And, you know, it's like, yeah. I said I wasn't getting on the soapbox, and I got on the soapbox anyway. This is over on joystick.com. They got the details over there about this particular achievement pack, which has unearthed Nightwing gameplay on Batman Arkham City.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
So, what are your top 20 games to watch this year? I saw this article and I was like, that's something to think about. Top 20 games to watch, or the top 20 games of the year of 2011. I got to think about Portal 2, of course. Deus Ex. You know, the games that I've already played. Portal 2, Deus Ex. And, you know, after that, it kind of tapered off a little bit. I was like, Homefront? Nah, probably not the top games. Multiplayer was really, really fun. Brink? Nah. Too buggy. Had a lot of problems. Just a lot of hurdles. The game was fun, but then it got old after a while, so I was like, nah. So I got to thinking about the console games. I was like, well, I didn't really buy any console games except for Little Big Planet 2, so I guess that's on there. You know, my list was a little sketchy. But then I got to thinking about the games I'm going to look forward to, and I was like, okay, Guild Wars 2. I don't know if it's coming out this year or not, but Guild Wars 2 is definitely up there. Battlefield 3. Yeah. Duh. Modern Warfare 3, it's kind of yes and no. You know, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like jumping up and down going, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 3. You know, it's just a game that I'm going to play because I kind of have to. I feel like I have to play that game. So there's others. But Nielsen did their little thing, their little survey spy thing. I don't even know what to call it. They just find data. I think they just dig a hole. 60% of users like snails. And then they publish it. I don't know where to get this data from. But this is a very interesting chart that we're about to see. And it's probably going to make a lot of you rage. Remember, you got to do that. Go to the store. So Nielsen's top 20 games to watch for holiday 2011. Number 1, oh, you guessed it, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This is the game that apparently Nielsen thinks we're all going gaga over. 27% chose Modern Warfare 3 as a top 5 game. And then we go down to Gears of War 3, which is doing very, very well at 19%, which I gotta say is one of the few exclusive titles on this list. I mean, there's not a lot of exclusives on here. The top exclusives are there, but and when you look at the top 10, there's not a lot of exclusives. So congratulations to Gears of War 3 for making the Nielsen top 25. Madden NFL 12. I haven't played Madden since 2001. It hadn't changed much since then, except for some rosters and a few graphics and stuff. Thank you, Madden, for the animations you gave Battlefield 3 for Prone. Okay. Assassin's Creed Revelations. A lot of you are looking forward to that. 17%. 17% of you. And they got some key elements of online conversation. So apparently they've been reading forums. Hopefully they haven't read my forums. Hopefully they have. The next one is Batman Arkham City. We was talking about that just now. The sequel to Batman Arkham Asylum. Which it has 15%. Then we get into another exclusive, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. 14% have that in the top 5. And then we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7th on the list is Battlefield 3. 12%. And I like the little title thing they got here. May feel this title is superior to competing titles in the genre. Differences in game performance by a platform. Just Dance 3 is number 8 by Ubisoft. All right, had to do it. NBA 2K12, which I've been meaning to play 2K11. 9% of you want that. Need for Speed to run. And then we get into the PS3 exclusive Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, which is down here. Then Mario and Sonic for the Wii, Lego Harry Potter, Suron, and so forth. So it got me thinking. What are my top 20 games to watch this year? And I forgot to say Rage. I am looking forward to Rage today or tomorrow. Tonight or tomorrow. But Rage is like down at the... I don't even think it's on the list. No, it didn't make the top 20. So Rage is not in the top 20. Deus Ex is at the very bottom. Resistance 3 is at the very bottom. Dead Island is near the bottom. Skyrim is like way down here. So I don't know if this thing is out of touch with reality or if it's just a marketing hype measuring tool. And I'm leaning towards the latter. I think this is a marketing hype measuring tool because looking at the titles at the top, the marketing for them has been astounding. Especially Modern Warfare 3 and Gears of War 3. These guys have been marketing. I think they hired the best marketing people in the world to market these games. Now, Assassin's Creed, I don't know. Arkham City is getting good press. Legend of Zelda doesn't need press. You just mention Zelda and people just melt. Oh, I must buy Zelda. Yeah, that's usually what happens. They usually sound exactly like that. But I'm not going to get into that because some people may be embarrassed when they sound like that. Top 20 games to watch, guys. Gamers make their holiday wish list. Check it out. This is over on blog.nielsen.com. It's all over the web as well. You can check it out. Google it. Do what you want. Bye-bye. Now we're going to talk about that game that everybody loves to hate, Modern Warfare 3. And one of the issues that people had with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, including myself, especially on the PC platform, was cheaters. It was even apparent on the consoles as well. It was a big problem there as well. there were hack lobbies on the consoles, and people would get the JTAG Xbox 360s, and they would hack the PS3 version, and they would get aim assist, and they would get, all kinds of things like flying, and they could see through walls, wall hacks, and stuff like that. It was really bad for a time. I mean, there was a few months where people stopped playing because the cheats were so bad. And then finally, everybody was like, okay, Infinity Ward, wake up. And they finally woke up and patched the game. Kind of took care of the cheaters. But they're still existent. So what the guys over at Infinity Ward are promising is that they're going to be very, very hard on cheaters this time around in Modern Warfare 3. They're getting dedicated anti-cheating teams. People dedicated to finding cheaters. These people are just going to be tasked with finding cheaters. If they got another job, then they're fired. No, I'm just joking. But they got some quotes here from Mr. Bowling. The teams won't be the game's only line of defense. Bowling said that Modern Warfare 3 will have improved code that checks for people using hacks in game, as well as Steam's VAC, which we kind of laugh at, or Valve anti-cheat technology. VAC's not that great. Just not. It takes people years to get banned sometimes. But some people do get banned. Yeah, you go to the Steam bans or whatever, vacbans.com, you can see people get banned a lot. Takes a while, though. There's been a lot of work put into it. I can't go into the specifics. On a general high-level area, there's so much more stuff that we've locked down and made less accessible than we had before. So, in non-nerd speak, they just made it more secure. So, hopefully they're actually right this time. But on the PC platform, you kind of foolish you'll be very foolish to think there won't be any cheats. There are always cheats. There's always people hacking and cheating. And that's one of the reasons why we love dedicated servers. Because we rely on good administrators to be on top of the cheats and to ban people accordingly. There's always a war between administrators and cheaters, and there's tools to automatically find people who do stuff. Sometimes have to manually do stuff in the first few months. The first few months is when it gets really, really hard to nail people down, because there's not a lot of stuff out there to prevent them if they're caught cheating. But as games progress, as they mature, these administrators get more and more sophisticated, and they can automatically kick you without even watching the server if you're cheating. And as more and more cheaters names get out there, their Steam IDs get circulated, and we can ban these people who are constantly making the game miserable. So hopefully this time around, Modern Warfare 3 will be actually less. What's the word I'm looking? I guess just have less cheaters. Because there's going to be cheaters, especially on the PC. Can't speak for the consoles. You guys might be in better shape than before. The JTaggers may not be able to get around the 360. The PS3 guys may not be able to hack as much. But PC, we're going to get hackers, and we already know it. Check it out, guys. This is over on Escapist Magazine. They got the details. Now we're going to talk about Battlefield 3 Beta. I bet everybody was like, Bwana, didn't you know? Didn't you hear that the Battlefield 3 Beta came out? And did you play? I mean, you were so excited about it. You're so happy. You were talking about Battlefield for like weeks and weeks. How come you haven't talked about Battlefield 3 Engage at Bwana? Because you're a Battlefield 3 aficionado, and I always come to you for Battlefield 3 news, and you're not doing Battlefield 3 news, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm finally talking about Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 Beta has been initiated. And we put a lot of hours into it. And I say we because I've been playing with members of the community. I've been streaming quite a bit of it. People kind of expect me to play it. If I'm not playing it, like, Bwana's not playing Battlefield 3. Am I on the right channel? Is this twitch.tv/Bwana? Somehow I think this is some kind of mistake. He's playing some block game called Minecraft or Minecraft or something of some sort. This is not Battlefield 3. I must be on the wrong channel. People come to my channel and they just think I'm always going to be playing. I've been playing a lot of it, I'll admit. Haven't been able to stop that much. And it's been kind of bittersweet. Been kind of bittersweet because at some points it was very, very frustrating. I know you guys have heard of all the glitches that have been out there, all the bugs, all the disconnects, and it's a beta, so we kind of expected that. There were times when we'd fall through the world. Many times there were black holes on maps, and the hit detection would just stop. Just like, okay, shoot that guy. Nah, you're not gonna kill him. But thanks for playing. So there's a lot of different issues, and it got me concerned. And I don't know if you guys heard about the Caspian border, quote unquote, leak. It wasn't really a leak. Not Valve. DICE did it on purpose. They actually released passwords to the test servers, the Caspian border test servers that were on the server list. And a lot of us got to play, including myself. And those maps were very, very, very broken. Lots of textural problems. Lots of, I don't know, models. Got helicopters flying upside down. You got these people that don't look like humans anymore running around. Dead body shooting. Lots of problems. My biggest problem was that the screen was just constantly flashing and there was a lot of texture problems. A lot of things wrong with the map. So I got a little bit worried. I gotta say, guys, I got a little bit worried because I was like, man, this game comes out in about a month and it looks like this. They couldn't give us anything more polished than this. And then they came out with a couple of updates over the weekend, kind of improved things. Things got a little bit better, except the Caspian border stuff was still buggy. The vehicles were fun. They were fun. The map was fun. I could definitely feel like I'm playing Battlefield, but it was just a lot of bugs. And I got to believe in that there was going to be a lot of bugs on release. So I read stories yesterday and today that confirmed, and these were people from DICE. DICE even published a blog post that said that, you know, the code that they issued for the beta is over a month old. What they had to do is they had to submit the code to be certified on the consoles. Remember, guys, I don't know if we talked about that here, but I posted on the forums, is that the consoles take a long time to certify. So they had to give them some code to certify, and then as time passed, they were doing bug fixes as that time progressed. So a lot of the bugs that we found during the beta, they claim were already fixed. So that was good to hear, kind of. So it was, but it wasn't totally reassuring, especially what I saw with Caspian border. Now, when it comes to weapon balance and things like that, I'm a little bit worried about the ump. Kind of OP their gun there. The ump is a beast. Yes, it is. And the shotgun. Yes, you can snipe with a shotgun. And it comes with a 12x scope. I wish I was making this up. Definitely some weapon tweaks that could be happening there. I really, really wish, and I said this before on my stream, and I'll say it again on Game Chat, I wish that they could have had Caspian border ready for the beta, because that would have been a better map to beta test than Rush. We've seen Rush. You know, when we talk about beta tests, I'm talking about the marketing aspect of it, because people, no matter what you tell them, this is a beta, they use it as, they treat it as a demo. They will use this beta as a means to buy or not buy the game. I don't care what you tell them. There's old code, there's beta. No, I don't care. It's a demo to me. This is Call of Duty all over again. I'm not buying this game. DICE sucks. You know. And they go on these tirades and they tell their friends, and bad word of mouth spreads over some misinformation. You know, a lot of times people don't look at all the facts, especially the young kids. I guarantee some people are talking about how Battlefield 3 is just Bad Company 2 with more weapons. So there's a lot more to that. So this article over on PlayStationLifestyle.net talks about all the glitches, and basically what I summarize, more so or less, is that a lot of the issues that we see are apparently fixed. Am I still going to buy the game? Of course. I'm crazy about Battlefield. I lived through the Battlefield Bad Company 2 beta, and I lived through the Battlefield Bad Company 2 launch, which was horrible on the PC. the game code was in a mess for a long time, to the point to where I abandoned the game for about 6 months before coming back to it after they patched all the problems. So Bad Company 2 definitely had a bad launch. And I'm hoping Battlefield 3 is better than that. Because based on their numbers already, they said that, I think they said 9 times as many people played this beta than they played the Bad Company 2 beta. 9 times more people. 9 times more people have played this beta. Also, the pre-order number charts are off the charts. So, what else can you say, man? Battlefield 3 is looking good, but it's not looking good. It's a beta, and a lot of people are worried. I'm a little bit worried about the quality of the game. I know eventually it will come around to be stable, but how long after launch, you know, remains to be seen. Check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad blocking software.
So, you guys know me, or some of you that may not know, but I play a whole lot of video game music on my stream. That's pretty much all I play. It's video game soundtracks, video game remixes, things like that. I'm a big fan of Zelda Reorchestrated. You guys need to check out their website, zreo.com. Zelda Reorchestrated. And you need to check out the what they've done. It's basically a private group that has remade Zelda songs, you know, using various technologies. And it sounds really good. It sounds really, really good. So I was very happy to see this, which I kind of counted on. But happy to hear that The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is going to have a fully orchestrated soundtrack. Now, you guys may remember at E3, that whole 30-minute segment at the beginning of E3, when they were talking about the Zelda anniversary. They had an orchestra down there playing a lot of the Zelda classics. And people were like getting goosebumps. Oh, Zelda music. Because Zelda music is enchanting. And I'm serious. That music is very, very enchanting. It really grabs you. And you play the music and people want to go play the game, or they have fond or bad memories of certain parts of Zelda. So a full orchestrated soundtrack is coming with Zelda Skyward Sword. So those of you who are into Zelda music, who buy the soundtracks, who listen to the music like I do, I'm more into the music than the game right now. I think the music is always brilliant in the Zelda series, and I'm glad to hear that they're gonna have a fully orchestrated soundtrack and not some cheap, you know, stuff. They're gonna go all out for the soundtrack for Skyward Sword, and it makes sense. There's gonna be a lot of stuff in the sky, flying, and you know, it definitely will add to the atmosphere. So check it out. Joystick.com has the details about Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword fully orchestrated soundtrack, and I wonder if the guys at Zelda Reorchestrated are taking notes. Like, hey, maybe we're going to remake that music too. I hope so, because their music is freely downloadable. Makes it very, very cool. Check it out, guys. Mass Effect fans, hold tight. Those of you who are into the Mass Effect series, BioWare is giving you a glimmer of hope for a Mass Effect MMO. Yeah, it's the truth. Here's a quote from BioWare co-founder Greg Zachik. You never know. I think once the Old Republic is done, we'll take a fresh look at the market. With fresh look glasses. Cleanly wiped and sanitized. While making it, you learn an enormous amount. It's one of the nice things about having these properties in our back pocket. If we want to use something we own as a source for a game, it's easy to do. So yeah, you never know. You never know. We've got this giant product to launch, but once this is done, we'll consider next steps. We're focused very much on the Old Republic, Mass Effect 3, and our free-to-play game, Wrath of Heroes, and all the other things we've announced and haven't announced. But we also have the opportunity to look at our franchises in a way we haven't ever before. There are lots of new platforms and lots of new business models. So it's general blah, very general statements, nothing substantial, but they have definitely not shut the door on a Mass Effect based universe for an MMO. It's very possible. I mean, when you look at the Old Republic MMO, if it weren't a Star Wars universe, it would look very much like a Mass Effect MMO. It's got a lot of the aspects of BioWare signature on it. I wouldn't put it past them. It'd be very easy for them to do, especially after doing the Old Republic. But will people buy it? 2 space-based MMOs from the same company in a semi-short time frame. I think they'd have to wait for, and I think you guys will agree with me, they'd have to wait for the Old Republic population to die down before really considering a release date. So I think they'll wait about 2 years into that game before they start development on something like this. So by like 5 or 6 years down the road, we'll see a new MMO based on Mass Effect. I would consider it. I didn't see enough in the Old Republic to make me want to play it and pay for a subscription. There's too many other options out there for free-to-play MMOs. I was bit by the MMO bug for a while, but I kind of got out of that. I've been in the shooter mode and Minecraft mode lately. You know, who knows? But when Guild Wars 2 hits, whew, boy, when Guild Wars 2 hits, it's going to be awesome. Gotta be awesome. Check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. Not net. Mass Effect MMO not being ruled out, says BioWare. And finally, we're going to talk about Minecraft, because we always do, just about every show. Pocket Edition for you Android phone owners, which includes myself. Minecraft Pocket Edition has got a date. It's coming to those other Android devices that are not Xperia, September 29th. Now, I didn't talk about this last week, and I made a kind of exception to my week-old news, because this is on the 26th. But I definitely wanted to talk about this because I haven't played it yet, and I was wondering if you guys have actually played it yet. They released a video showing how the title will operate, joypad, blah, 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 blah. That will happen, and this is a Sony Ericsson phone. I don't know if that's Xperia that they're on right there. But Minecraft is coming to Pocket Editions very, very soon. And according to Notch, the iPhone version will be coming shortly after. So those of you who want to play Minecraft on your phones, you know, it'd be a perfect thing for those airport layovers. Oh my goodness. When I was traveling, what I would not give for Minecraft. Oh my goodness. Man, I used to sit there on my laptop playing like Pac-Man and Galaga. If I would have had Minecraft, it would have made time go so much faster in those layovers on airports and when your flight's delayed and stuff like that, where you just got time to kill. Whoo, man, Minecraft would have came in very, 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 very cool. Now, if you guys are in school, stop it. Notice I said free time, not while you're in class, while you're in your history class going, uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Creeper. Creeper, creeper. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Even though there's no creepers on the Touch Edition. But you guys stop it. Pay attention. Graduate. Earn money. Be happy. Earn a family. Earn a family. Make a family. This message is brought to you by Monster. Check it out, guys. This is over on joystick.com. They got the details. And that concludes all the stories that I have for you guys for tonight. We're going to go into the user-submitted stories that you guys have submitted over here.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
All right, what you guys got for me? Let's see what stories have been submitted. How much time have we? It's not that bad. Cool. That's about right. So it's not going to be a short show. I'm glad I didn't say that. Okay, we're going to start with our first stories. Emeraldale has a first story. Guild Wars 2 beta to arrive this year for sure. New footage shows public quests and PvP. So this is on PCGamer.com. Good news is that the beta is set to arrive this year for sure, which means that the final game definitely probably will not arrive this year for sure. So that's kind of sad. So blah 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 blah. Beta testing the end of this year. If we tear through the beta and everything's super positive, obviously it'll come out faster if we get into the beta process and we see things we want to change. Then we have the luxury of having the time to be able to sit down and fix that stuff. General statement is general. We really don't know then when release is going to be, but we want time to react to fix things and upgrade and everything. There's no way to register. Whoa, the sentence. There's no way to register for a place on the beta yet. The best way to keep abreast of the beta announcements is to sign up for the newsletter. Marketing 101. And they got Total Biscuit's playthrough linked here. Very, very cool. Total Biscuit makes great videos. Great link. Thanks for the story. Emeraldale. Guild Wars 2 beta to arrive this year for sure. Hopefully I'll get in that. Okay. CSGO. Counter-Strike Go. On PC to be a different beast than console versions. Why gotta be a beast? Why can't it be a bunny? News of Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a new Counter-Strike, yay. But wait, it's going to be on the consoles too? Boo. Fortunately, Valve assures that it's not going to let consoles players rain grenades on your parade. The PC version is trying to be something it's not. In some ways, PC will be different beast anyway. There will be servers that we control, but then on the PC they will support custom servers, and at that point they'll be able to mod the game. All right, so they're basically telling us that modding is not going away. The way this is set up now in CSSS, you can enter game and have no idea if the guys are going to be surfing while they're shooting or doing other crazy stuff. So if you're a fan of CSS mods, Counter-Strike mods, be assured that CSGO will support mods. Sounds like the consoles will not. It says, interestingly, the PC is also the only game to get in any sort of CSGO beta. So the PC is going to have the beta because console betas, well, aren't real. What? That's why we're showing it on the PS3 and why we show it at PAX on the 360. It's the only way those guys are going to get to play it. The PC beta will be extended longer because it's not really a good model for doing betas. Real betas on the console. Interesting. Other console betas have been more promotional demos. What we're saying is that we want to do a beta that's constantly changing and updating based on player feedback. He said that. He said that. It needed to be said. Oh my goodness. Time to reflect. Somebody had to say that. Other console betas have been more promotional demos. Oh my goodness, that's so true. So true, including DICE. Including you guys, DICE. Real betas have multiple updates. Stuff is constantly changing. And it updates based on players' feedback. It's that what DICE is doing is kind of a promotional / back-end performance test. That's what they're doing. They're taking player feedback, but you won't see many changes. Even though they're going to make changes before the release. I love what Valve is saying here. I love what they're saying. I'm glad. I'm gonna bookmark this article because that's awesome. That somebody actually went on record to say that. Somebody in industry said that. It had to be said. We've been saying it for years. We've been saying it for years. All these betas that come out, they're just nothing more than glorified demos. Because nothing really changes as a result of the beta. Okay. Great article, Emeraldale. Appreciate it. All right, now we're gonna go to Saram's Mass Effect 3. Gets a killer new feature. Okay. What's this? Will it be multiplayer? Gasp. A new image has surfaced of a South African advertisement for Mass Effect 3 that seemingly confirms online multiplayer. Gasp. 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 As posted by Gamefront. The advertisement has a list of features for Mass Effect 3 Collector's Edition that includes an online multiplayer pass. Multi-pass. I need a multi-pass. Lilo, that is multi-pass. That's good enough. So, online multiplayer pass. This feature is still only a rumor for now, but nothing has been confirmed by EA or BioWare. This is interesting. This is juicy. This is juicy stuff, man. Will Mass Effect 3 have some sort of a multiplayer component? Or will it be co-op? We will see. We will see. Check it out, guys. Thank you. This is on IGN. Thank you, Sarams. Jake and Daxter to hit HD on the PS3 next year. Oh, yeah. Jack and Daxter. I always call it Jake and Daxter. Jack and Daxter HD collection coming next year. This is kind of my counter Ratchet and Clank. I've been a Ratchet and Clank. You got your Ratchet and Clank guys, and you got your Jack and Daxter guys, and you got some people in the middle that play both. It's either one or the other. But Jack and Daxter HD collection coming next year. Naughty Dog has been getting a lot of attention. Blah, 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 blah. Retailer BTL Games has a listing for the Jack and Daxter HD collection with an estimated January 20th, 2012 release date. Gamatsu.com site covering the listing said the source hinted that such a collection was in the works back in May. Judging from Sony's enthusiasm for re-releasing older games from its vault, stranger things have certainly happened. So cool. Jack and Daxter next year coming in HD. Very, very cool. Also, there was a related story that I don't know if anybody put this, but Crysis is going to be 1080p on the PS3, so that's pretty cool as well. Okay. If you guys wanted Sony news, Guy 19900 is the guy for you. He has 4 Sony related stories. Rare PS2 games to be added to PSN. Rare. Dun 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 dun. I've been dreaming up for a while, picking up a PS3 game I already own, putting it in my PS3 and having it work. Ever since my launch console died, it's been totally out of the question. Sony has launched a new campaign called Only on PSN, which is looking to tout games exclusive on PSN Online's network and featuring our indie games, more games, and quietly PS2 games as well. Listed as rare classic games, the initial selection is certainly promising. Side-scroller Odin Sphere, God Hand, Grimoire, Maximo Ghost of Glory, and Ring of Red. Apparently it's going to be a US only affair. So yeah, pretty cool. Some PS2 games coming to PlayStation. Uncharted plus Subwave. You've got to be kidding me. Me. Sony gets you to Uncharted for a month early. Adds $5 foot-long taunt. Are you serious? I saw the image and now it's gone, but visit your local sandwich artist if you want to leg up on the competition on Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception multiplayer mode. You can spend an entire month of October ranking up, unlocking in-game items, acquiring Subway-themed goods, and including the $5 foot-long taunt. Are you serious? Obviously, also the PlayStation Plus users are going to get this multiplayer thing for a month. I don't know about the taunt, but whether the taunt is implied to illustrate your frugal fast food choices, I don't like this. Beginning this Saturday, if you go into a local Subway restaurant and purchase one of the specially marked Uncharted 30-ounce drinks, you receive a code that will provide you with access to the full competitive multiplayer experience through the month of October. So basically, it's going to be like $2.50 to get into this thing. I don't know how much the drinks cost anymore. I haven't been to Subway in a long time. I don't like $5 footlong taunt. Blech. No thanks. Watch me say no, and then when I'm playing, I'm like, somebody kills me and does it. I'm like, I want a $5 footlong taunt. Watch. Thanks for the story, guy. 19900. Uncharted 3 and Resistance 3 to get a PSN pass. Drake face. PSN pass confirmed for Uncharted 3 multiplayer. We talked about this a lot when we talk about used game sales, and this is what Sony said they were going to do. Apparently, you have to buy the game new in order to play multiplayer. So they plan to impose a PSN pass on Uncharted 3, meaning that multiplayer access to the game will be subject to one use code included with all retail copies. That means that used copies of Uncharted 3 aren't assured of including multiplayer access. If their code is missing or has been used, it will cost $10 for someone to activate it on the feature. So it becomes kind of a no-brainer to get the new version if you want to play online, because adding that $10 to the game kind of puts the used game at the retail amount. Unless it's going to be like 8 months or 10 months or 12 months after the game's out, then you might find a used copy for like $25-30. But most times they're a little bit less than $10 off at launch. So, yep, if you guys are looking to get used copies of this and you want to play multiplayer, look no further, because you're going to pay $10 more thanks to online passes. Yeah. And this last story here, at least Sony didn't break any Australian laws. Man, you like Kotaku, don't you? Turns out Sony didn't break the law when somebody else hacked them. This is according to... Oh, this is going back to the PSN hacks. Australia's Privacy Act mandates that all bodies holding confidential information must take reasonable steps. Sounds reasonable, right? To ensure that information is stored in a safe and secure location. So when 1,560,791 Australian PSN accounts were hacked, the country's privacy commission were forced to act. So apparently, no evidence that Sony intentionally disclosed any personal information to a third party. Of course not. Rather, its network platform was hacked into. There's a big gray area there. You know, that area of liability. You know, it's like if you store, I don't know, it depends on the laws, but like you can find somebody to store something valuable and they get robbed. You know, who's liable? Is it you for trusting them? Is it them for not having good enough security, or do the laws protect them if they have a sufficient security system? So be careful where you live, and be careful of those laws of where you live, because you may not be able to sue, because it may not be against the law, as we see here with Australia. I can't really argue because, you know, I don't know how Australian law works. I have no part in it. If this was U.S. law, then I could complain. I'd get mad at myself for not taking action. But this kind of stinks for them, especially people who wanted to sue Sony. So check it out. That's over on Kotaku as well. And unfortunately, Ghostwriter can't play YouTube videos, so we'll have to skip that one. You guys can go to the links and watch that, and it's gone. Okay. The history of Battlefield. Okay. A look into the past to bring you the full story, twists and turns that have brought us up right up to Battlefield 3. Early days. Oh, look at them graphics. Entering the war zone, EA connection. QA testers at EA's Redwood Shores campus got hold of the E3 demo, played it every day on their lunch break. The publisher just released World War II shooter Medal of Honor Live Assault, and it sets their sights on Battlefield. In 2002, hosted a review event for Battlefield 1942. Just 13 months later, Activision released its own World War II shooter, Call of Duty. This is very interesting. We got a history lesson going on here for Battlefield. I like how they pointed out Call of Duty came later. I'll be like, Call of Duty started shooters. You have a gun, you're copying Call of Duty. I was playing Counter-Strike when Battlefield was big, and I couldn't get off Counter-Strike. I was all into it. Blah, 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 blah. And then they talk about all the different history coming out to Battlefield 2, then 2142, and then blah, 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 blah. I never played 2142. Maybe I should buy that. I never played it because it's like $5. Then Bad Company, which I never played. That was a console-only game. And then Bad Company 2 came out, which was console and PC. And now we are at Battlefield 3. Interesting history lesson for those of us who are into Battlefield. Thanks for the story. And I think that concludes the stories that you guys have submitted. And guess what time it is? Guess what time it is, boy? Guess what time it is? It's title time. This is the time where you guys come up with witty titles for the show based on the stories we talked about. We want to see some good titles today. Title time. Game Chat episode 32. Let's go. Let's see them. Title, textures are the same. Rage! Portal 2 DLC date set, delayed to be announced. Title, it's beta when polished. Bat's backup is back. That's a lot of bees. Would you like a side order PlayStation Pass with that Subway? Bugs are everywhere, but good stuff. No, that's not that. Who play anymore? Games are for watching. Betas are glitchy. Who knew? Oh boy, October's here. Raging that betas are not demos. Glitchy beta is glitchy. BioWare doesn't close doors on Minecraft Rage. Oh crap, I missed some. Let me go to this one though, because I can scroll up. Earn a Family, brought to you by Monster. McDonald's Uncharted 7, brought to you by Sprint. Battlefield, don't quit your day job. Minecraft is not BF3, stop playing it. Subway just got 40% more ridiculous. Ocarina? We don't need no stinking Ocarina. Play Minecraft in the history of Battlefield 3 class. Minecraft, there's an app for that. Let's destroy Mass Effect MMO, possibly. Demos disappear, betas appear. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite MMO on the Citadel. Why Beast? I want Bunny. Fail at school, get Minecraft Pocket Edition. Let's see here. I gotta pick some. Cheaters win battles, but admins will win with Warfarely. Notch releases the mobile infantry. Bwana bookmarks a webpage. Film at 11. Uncharted 3 sell out the Subway. That's true. Battlefield bugs are in fact features. Blast blah 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 blah. Mass Effect MMO blah. Alright, let me start picking some of these. You guys got a good list to choose from. I think I see 3 or 4. Hold on. Come on, I gotta find one more. Alright, let's just get this one here. Alright, we got three. Three this week. 3 titles. Turn it down a little bit. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. Vote for the title that you want to see by number. Just type in the number. Go! 1, 2, or 3. Nope, you can only vote once. One time. Okay, I think we're winding down here. 10 more seconds. Poll stopped. Results. Ooh, that was close. Whoa, that was the closest one ever. The winner is Textures Are the Same. Rage! Congratulations to random person Boss for winning this week's Title Time. You are our Title Time winner. And guess what you win? Absolutely nothing. You win absolutely nothing but bragging rights. Bragging rights until next week. You can tell all your friends and family that, hey, I won Game Chat with Bwana, episode 32, Title Time. I'm a proud man, and they'll give you hugs and kisses and adulation all over the way, all over the place. But I'm not going to give you anything physical or digital. You'll just have that to hold on to for the entire week. You are Title Time champ for them braggins rights. And that concludes our show for today. I want to thank everybody for coming by and watching us here at Game Chat with Bwana. That's the conclusion of another great episode. Episode 32. Now titled, Textures Are the Same, Rage! We're here every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern at live.bwana.tv or at twitch.tv/Bwana. Stop on by, you can participate in the chat, you can read the stories along with us. Have fun with us. We just goof around and talk about gaming stuff. And also, follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Bwana or at twitter.com/Bwana Live if you wish to be notified when I go live. Also, join our forum at bwana.tv/forum. You can participate in our community. We got a thriving community over there. We just recently created a Battlefield 3 platoon, complete with all kinds of graphics and stuff. I even put my little B logo as the emblem, using their little tools. And also, you can participate in our premium program if you want to donate towards the just towards me to help me and support me. We do have a premium option for $5 a month. If you donate $5 a month, you get a bunch of goodies. You get a special title on the forum. You get no ads. You get Minecraft VIP access. You get TF2 server VIP access. You get all kinds of other little goodies, and you're going to be eligible for our October giveaway. we are going to have an October giveaway of several games that you'll be able to choose from. Probably going to be Rage, probably going to be Battlefield, probably going to, I don't know. We're going to have a long list of games that you can choose from, which is going to be eligible for subscribers or premium subscribers. This is my way of showing thanks for supporting me. Alright guys, that concludes episode 32 of Game Chat with Bwana. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming by. Please stop by next week when we do next week's show and we talk about the latest gaming news here. I'll talk to you guys next week, right here, same time, same station. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Rage.